It's high noon.
Welcome back to Broncos Gaming World. Today we're going to take a look at some third-party proxy models that you can use for your Warhammer 40k games from Wargames Atlantic, Death Fields. And these guys, you can use these guys as your basic infantry squads or whatever you want to use them, Krieg or Cadians. But the models universally are pretty decent. Definitely not up to the top tier Games Workshop look, but overall the models are pretty detailed. You're definitely able to do some kit bashing here. If you look at like the sergeant guy squatting down with the chainsword and knife, those are both just stuff straight off of an Imperial Guard weapon sprue. A kit bash the flamer guy in the back, you get like a big heavy plasma gun looking guy there, so those are easy to use as just plasma guns. The models themselves are really good quality. They look good, they're clean, there's not a ton of mode lines or garbage all over them. The models look good, guys, and I really think that for trying to build a large infantry army, that these guys are a good substitute for GW. Here's a closer look at the actual models that you get on the sprue. Again, not a ton of bad mold lines, decent detail. They're wearing jumpsuits, so there's not going to be a whole lot going on, but you also get multiple options on ways to build them too. There you get like the Penal Legion guys, or regular squad of guys, or like these hazmat suit looking dudes. Here's your like las rifles and the plasma gun options. All the arms are labeled with a left arm, right arm, so you just put those together. Here's your backpacks, pistols, and down there on the bottom was the hazmat helmet, so if you wanted like some solder car, dune looking dudes, you could do that with these guys. Alright, so here's a look at a painted squad of Penal Legion Death Fields cannon fodder models that I'm going to use as probably just a regular Imperial Guard infantry squad, or I might use them as Cadians every once in a while. These guys come with like the bomb detonator collars, so that if they try to run away, they get their heads blowed off. I kit bashed the sergeant here and the plasma gun. I think these guys came out looking really good. I used pretty much nothing but Speed Point 2.0, Carmine Dragon, and Mage Yellow. Put the Carmine Dragon down first, then over the top of it, the Mage Yellow gives you that orange jumpsuit look that you'd get from any kind of convict looking dudes. Man, I think these guys came out great. I'm excited to use them, and I use them in a reckless manner, because for the Emperor, they will be redeemed. So there you go, guys. All right, let's get to the meat of this episode here, and that is the Imperial Guard infantry squad units that you can use your cannon fodder Death Fields models as in a game of 40k. First one overall, I would probably say, would be an infantry squad. Infantry squad here, it's typical human stat line: move 6, toughness 3, save 5, 1 wound, 7 plus leadership, objective control of 2. These infantry squads can also get a heavy weapons team attached, which allows you to use like those old school Imperial Guard squads that you used to have. And they have the same stat line, except for they have 2 wounds, and they have a OC of 4 instead. So real quick, let's look at what you can actually put in these squads, and then we'll come back and look at the gear that they can get. So the squad can have up to a sergeant and 9 guardsmen, a sergeant and 7 guardsmen, and a heavy weapons team, or the blobs, 2 sergeants and 18 guardsmen, or 2 sergeants and 16 guardsmen with a team, or you can get up to 2 heavy weapons teams and a blob of 20. So that matters a lot as far as how you want to construct your squads. This is how you get heavy weapons into your blobs, and with their occupation, I keep saying occupation, with their objective control of 2 and 4, these guys are really solid at just squatting on objectives and holding them with an absolute huge amount of OC. They have a ton of weapon options too. You can get a sniper rifle. This is one of the ways you can get sniper rifles in your normal units. You can get a sniper rifle here. For every 10 guys, you get one special weapon. So sniper rifle, plasma gun, melta gun, grenade launcher, flamer. You can get the Vox caster like normal. The sergeant can have a chainsword or power weapon. Sergeant can also have a bolt pistol, bolt gun, or plasma pistol. I kind of like the bolt gun option. That's another uncommon one you don't get with, I don't think you can get it with Krieg or with Cadians. I could be wrong on that. And then your heavy weapons choices. You get a heavy bolter if you pick a heavy weapons team, and you can swap it out for what I would swap out for is the auto cannon or las cannon, or a mortar, depending on if you're running mortar squads or not, because the mortars are amazing. Missile launcher he's fine. He's what a missile launcher's always been. He's fine. I wouldn't go out of my way to pick him though. The big blobs of infantry, you can have up to 2. Unlike most armies, you can have 2 leader units attached to them as long as you don't have more than 1 command squad. So you can put like a Cadian Castellan and a command squad in it, or a Commissar and a command squad, or any of the other leader models that the Astra Militarum have at their disposal. And unlike lots of armies, you can get 2 in your blobs of infantry and basically just give them a 20 wound bullet shield to protect the heroes from, or the leaders from, getting killed. So let's take a look at what you can actually put in this squad, and let's look at their abilities. So as standard, your guardsmen are going to come with their las guns, which rapid fire 1 attack, 4+3 strength, no AP, does the damage. It's about as typical as you get. You know, the rapid fire 1's nice, 12 inches, you can fire twice. It doesn't, it's your typical Imperial Guard weapon. Your special weapons, you're able to throw, I'm a big fan of the grenade launcher, because against horde armies, your frag grenades are still pretty solid, with coming in at strength 4, and crack grenades always solid against pretty much everybody. You know, I mean, it can be a Terminator killer, you know, in a lot of ways. You know, it can damage lighter vehicles, and yeah, anything that you can target to take out Terminators is a good thing. Plasma gun, always the Terminator killer as well. Supercharge that bitch. Rapid fire 1. You get something like first rank fire, second rank fire. You're firing 3 shots with the plasma gun, and it's not anywhere near as lethal as it used to be to fire it on supercharge, because after you fire, now you make just a 1d6 roll for each hazardous weapon you used, and then one of the guys they've used it dies if you roll a 1. So old school, it was every shot, if you rolled a 1 to hit with it, you died, or you took a wound, and that made those weapons very unreliable. You also have the ability to put the sniper rifle, as mentioned earlier, 36-inch range, 1 attack, 4+, strength 4, AP -2, does 2 damage, and it's at precision and heavy. So if you don't move your squad, which a lot of these infantry squads, you're less likely to move them around, especially if you're fielding the heavy weapons. You're going to want them to sit pat, get their army bonus for not moving, and get those lethal hits out of them as well. You also throw a melta gun in there if you want. If you are looking to move them around the board, they can punch and hit hard with the melta gun at 12 inches. And then their melee weapons are just going to come with their standard close combat weapons, and the sergeant gets your chain sword and power weapon. Let's take a look at their ability real quick. They are the Defender's Humanity. Each time a ranged attack targets this unit, if this unit is within range of an objective marker you control, the models in this unit have the benefit of cover against that attack. Another feather in the cap here for the infantry squad to just squat on objectives. It's like if your army's pushing forward, these guys are in the second wave, coming in behind after you've gained the objective, to just sit on it while your other units continue to move forward. These guys squat on your home objective and just unload downwind with their heavy weapons and special weapons, knowing that they can get the benefit of cover against anybody who wants to actually take them out. And then they also have the ability to get a Voxcaster, which that's one of those ones, ladies and gentlemen, when you're playing a game, is to not forget the Voxcasters in your units. If you get them, you know, they don't cost you anything anymore. So if you put them in there, if you're using stratagems on them, if you're using a stratagem on them like Fields of Fire or something, make sure that you make your die roll to try to regain that command point back. It says on a die 6, roll 1 die 6, adding 1 to result if there is 1 or more friendly officer models within 6 inches of you on a 5 or better, you get a command point back. Which means that if you've got a 20-man blob and a command squad with a lieutenant, on a 4 or better, you're getting a command point. And if you're running somebody like Ursula Creed, who's given out a free stratagem to begin with, if she gives that stratagem to somebody to a squad that's got a Voxcaster on a 4 or better, you're not just replacing the command point you used, you're gaining an extra one. So don't forget to use the Voxcaster ability, guys. It's super important and something that is easy to forget in the heat of the moment. But overall, guys, infantry squads are good. I like them. They're really good use for the models that we went over in this video, the cannon fodder from Death Fields, or any of their other model types, the Bulldogs or Ura or whatever the freaking Steel Legion looking guys that they have are. They're, if you're looking to run like third-party proxies, especially, since most people are just casual gamers, they're not going to go play in grand tournaments or anything, you should be able to use these models, be able to get your horde going on the board for a little bit less money. Obviously support your local game stores, guys, and try to make sure that you're using as much GW stuff as you can. But if you're playing an army like Imperial Guard here, you're going to need upwards of 200 models in a 2,000 point game sometimes, and these guys are a good alternative. Just make sure your opponents know what you're doing and that you're on the up and up, and don't play any kind of gotcha game or any kind of bull crap like that. So there you go, guys. Astra Militarum infantry squads, they're pretty solid for your Imperial Guard army, especially if you like to use those heavy weapons. It's a way to just spam more heavy weapons on the board. Until next time, please like and subscribe here on Broncos Gaming World, and please take care of yourselves.
Boom goes the dynamite.